The Vanderbilt mansion stood in ominous silence as Detective Jane Matthews took a step closer to the nightmarish crime scene. The eerie symbols etched in blood seemed to radiate an unsettling energy, and the victim's lifeless form continued to haunt her thoughts. The victim, Samuel Thornton, the murdered town council member, had once been the embodiment of respectability and influence within Willowbrook. His life, like that of many of the town's prominent figures, had been intricately woven into the fabric of the community. Samuel Thornton was a man in his late 50s, with a demeanor that exuded authority and charisma. He had served multiple terms on the town council and had held the esteemed position of council president for several years. With salt and pepper hair and piercing blue eyes, he had been a figurehead of stability and tradition in Willowbrook. Despite his public persona, Thornton had his fair share of secrets. He was a widower, having lost his wife, Eleanor, to a sudden illness years ago. The town had mourned her passing as a great loss, and Thornton had retreated into the confines of his mansion, rarely seen in public afterward. As Jane carefully examined the victim's surroundings, her flashlight revealed subtle details that had initially escaped her notice. There, on the edge of a blood-soaked rug, was a glint of something metallic. She knelt down, her gloved fingers trembling as she picked up a small, ornate locket. Its surface was engraved with intricate patterns, and it seemed out of place in the midst of such brutality. The locket felt cool to the touch, a stark contrast to the room's oppressive atmosphere. Jane's curiosity was piqued as she examined it more closely. She could feel a faint pulse of energy emanating from the locket, as if it held a secret of its own. She carefully tucked it into an evidence bag, convinced that it might hold a clue to the identity of the killer. Turning her attention back to the room, Jane noticed that the symbols on the walls seemed to converge toward the large, blood stains surrounding the victim. It was as though the victim had been sacrificed as part of a ritual. This revelation sent shivers down her spine, and she knew that she had stumbled upon something far more sinister than a mere murder. Jane's mind raced as she connected the dots. The eerie symbols, the ritualistic blood stain, the locket, all pointed to a complex, ritualistic murder that defied rational explanation. This wasn't just a crime. It was a descent into the occult, a dark realm that challenged everything she knew about criminal investigation. With grim determination, Jane knew she had to delve deeper into the secrets of the Vanderbilt mansion and the victim's past. She couldn't ignore the feeling that this murder was part of something larger, a web of mysteries that stretched far beyond the confines of Willowbrook. Leaving the room, Jane retraced her steps through the mansion's foreboding corridors. The shadows seemed to whisper secrets as she moved, and the history of the mansion loomed large in her thoughts. The locket, clutched tightly in her gloved hand, felt like the key to unlocking the truth, and she was determined to uncover the secrets it held. As she left the house, a chilling realization settled upon her. She was no longer dealing with a simple whodunit. This was a journey into the heart of darkness, a relentless pursuit of justice where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred, and secrets waited to be revealed. Jane's resolve remained unshaken as she stepped out of the mansion, knowing that the path ahead would be fraught with peril and revelations beyond her wildest imagination. As Detective Jane Matthews emerged from the depths of the Vanderbilt mansion, clutching the locket in her gloved hand, she knew that her investigation had taken a nightmarish turn. The eerie symbols and ritualistic symbols in the murder room had hinted at a sinister, occult undercurrent that demanded her attention. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting elongated shadows that seemed to reach out for her as she stepped out of the mansion's oppressive embrace. The locket felt heavier now, as if it held the weight of dark secrets. Jane couldn't shake the feeling that she was treading on the precipice of something incomprehensible. Returning to the Willowbrook Police Department, Jane locked herself in her dimly lit office. She carefully examined the locket under a magnifying glass, revealing intricate symbols etched on its surface. They seemed to mirror the ones in the murder room. There was no denying the connection. and Jane knew she had to dig deeper into the town's history to unravel this web of lies. Hours of painstaking research led Jane to a long-forgotten chapter in Willowbrook's history. She discovered references to a secret cult that had operated in the town decades ago, a cult that had dabbled in the occult and sinister rituals. The pieces of the puzzle were coming together. Jane also found a name, the Order of the Obsidian Serpent, associated with the cult. It sent shivers down her spine. This was more than just a murder. It was a resurgence of a dark past that had lain dormant for years. Determined to uncover the truth, Jane visited the town's archives and dug through newspaper clippings, uncovering stories of strange happenings, mysterious disappearances, and rumored accounts of the cult's involvement in unspeakable acts. She realized that her investigation had become a race against time to stop the cult's resurgence. Jane couldn't ignore the chilling truth that she was dealing with something far more sinister than a single murder. The cult's presence in Willowbrook had remained hidden for decades, but it had resurfaced with a vengeance, leaving a trail of bloodshed and dark rituals in its wake. As Jane delved deeper into the cult's history, she uncovered a list of names, prominent townsfolk who had once been part of the cult. It was a startling revelation, and Jane knew that she couldn't trust anyone. The town's idyllic facade had concealed a legacy of secrets and lies, and she was determined to expose it all. Her next step was clear: confront those who might be involved, confront the cult, and bring them to justice before more lives were sacrificed in their sinister rituals. The locket remained her only tangible lead, a symbol of the tangled web of deception that had ensnared Willowbrook. Detective Jane Matthews was not working alone on this complex and ominous murder investigation. She was part of a dedicated team of investigators at the Willowbrook Police Department who were committed to solving the case and bringing the perpetrator to justice. Her team included seasoned detectives, forensic experts, and support staff who played crucial roles in the investigation. Detective Mark Anderson, her longtime partner, provided valuable insights and expertise, acting as her right hand in deciphering the clues and navigating the intricate web of deceit. Forensic analyst Dr. Emily Wells, with her keen eye for detail, examined the physical evidence meticulously, from blood samples to the eerie symbols etched in the room. Her findings would prove indispensable in piecing together the puzzle. The technical support team, led by Officer David Ramirez, ensured that surveillance footage and electronic records were scrutinized for any leads that might shed light on the murder. The investigation was moving along, and she was prepared to face whatever horrors lay ahead in her quest to unravel the Order of the Obsidian Serpent and bring an end to their reign of terror. End of Chapter 2. If you enjoy this content, please like, share and subscribe.